Namaskar, hello and welcome to CIET NCERT's live phone-in interactive program. My name is Tanvi Khurana and this is a special series on school leadership development brought to you by National Center for School Leadership, which is NCSL. You're watching us live at this moment on PM eVidya channel number 6, channel number 9 and channel number 12, and also on our YouTube channel NCERT Official. If you have any questions, any queries, please reach out to us. Today, our topic of discussion would be school-based teacher professional development, role of school leaders. So if you have any questions regarding this topic, please feel free to call us on our number 8800440559, and you can also write down your questions in the live chat box of our YouTube channel NCERT Official. Let me introduce to you our special guest for this program, and she is Dr. Kashyapi Avasthi. Welcome, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello. Namaskar. Ma'am is from NCSL NIEPA, and NIEPA is the National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration. So let's begin this discussion, and I would like to ask ma'am, while we know of the professional development, what exactly do we understand by social-based professional development?
School-based professional development.
I beg your pardon, school-based professional development.
So, in fact, as we all know about teacher professional development, it's about teacher learning. And it's about teacher learning how to learn and teacher learning how to teach. And when we talk of school-based professional development, we actually understand that how teachers would get engaged with their own day-to-day lived experiences of the schools, of working with the children. And how do they transform their knowledge into practice such that it benefits the students' growth, the students' learning. And as we see in the presentation, teacher professional development is actually not so straight-jacketed or linear. It is rather a very complex process. And it requires both the cognitive and the emotional engagement or involvement of the teacher. So when we have a teacher professional development program which is generalized or centralized like we have it through different online platforms, even the way we are engaging currently with the teachers. We are at a distance from the teachers. So while the teachers are able to learn from the information that we share with them, there is very little or in fact no emotional engagement or bonding that we have with this group of teachers who are engaging with us through the online platform. This emotional engagement can happen in two ways. One, we are exactly talking of the day-to-day challenges that the teachers face in actually engaging with the students, whether it is the content knowledge that they are delivering or the pedagogical practices or even the socio-emotional factors of the school. And second, these teachers are involved right from the process of the development of the program. And when you are involved right in the process, say for example, two of us are doing this live streaming session, but if you are engaged with me, even as an anchor in really looking at what professional development is and really planning this entire 30 to 40 minutes that we have together, perhaps that engages both of us in the delivery of the program, wherein we are gelling with each other. That emotional bonding is very important for every professional development program. And unfortunately, when the programs are centrally conceptualized and we are addressing huge group of masses, or they follow this cascading model,
Okay, so as you can see on your screens, the slide says what exactly is teachers' professional development, and ma'am was explaining about the same, and in this particular session we are going to understand all about school-based teacher professional development. Because of a technical glitch, we have lost contact with our expert, but we'll be getting back with her very soon. So, and also we are going to understand that how is this professional development different from the other developments. There's a technical glitch like I already mentioned. We're going to come back very soon. So for now, we are just Okay, so I think we are back with our expert. Kashyapi ma'am, can you hear me?
And we have I lost you, it seems.
Yes, Dr. Avasti.
Yes, yes. I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible. So just continue from where you started.
Okay, okay, okay. So I was just talking about teacher professional development and how we really need to understand teacher professional development, wherein it's not a straight-jacketed process, as I was mentioning, but needs to have a cognitive and emotional engagement with the teacher. And it's the school-based teacher professional development that allows that cognitive and emotional engagement or involvement with the teacher. And unless this school-based professional development takes
Ma'am?
place actually, yes, Tanvi, you're not able to see the presentation?
Yes, now we can see the presentation.
Okay. I realized it soon. So I hope I apologize to our audience for that. So when we talk about this school-based professional development, it actually not only cognitively but also emotionally engages the teachers. Why? Because we're talking about their school-specific contextual and situational problems. It also brings together teachers not just as individual professionals but as a collective group. So as a group of teachers belonging to a same school, we have faced number of problems in really engaging with our children and in really helping them learn. Now, in school-based teacher professional development, exactly the professional development addresses to where the shoe pinches, which is to say, where exactly they are facing issues in delivery, in teaching, in pedagogy, in content, and therefore it actually helps the teacher examine their own convictions, their own beliefs, and look forward to appropriate alternatives for improvement and change. So in this manner, teacher professional development becomes different when it actually is school-based. So that's how school-based teacher professional development is more specific, more grounded to the day-to-day lived experiences of the teachers, and it engages the teachers in questions like how are our students doing, how are our teachers doing, how as a group of professionals we are delivering in our classrooms for different subjects in our day-to-day manner. What is it that our teachers or our students are struggling with when it comes to learning? So these are some of the questions that school-based professional development helps. It also brings together teachers for critical reflections and for sharing some of their experiences which they go through every day in their regular classroom. It could be about exactly what is it that our students want to learn, or what is it which is very essential for us in terms of knowledge and skills which will help us improve our learning or improve our teaching. Or what happens in our schools when students do not learn. So what is it that we are doing when children are not learning, or what is it, how is it that we are planning for children who need additional support? So these are some of the questions which get answered in school-based teacher professional development, and I think that is how it makes it more specific, more situational, and more contextual as compared to a generic teacher professional development program. It therefore engages teachers not just as individuals but as collectives, not just cognitively but also emotionally. And that is how this school-based teacher professional development differs from a general, a centralized professional development program.
Okay.
Over to you, Tanvi, if there is something more that you want to know.
Absolutely, ma'am. There's a lot which I would like to ask you. And my next question would be, ma'am, how can you say that school-based professional development is different from the other professional developments? And can you also mention some of the reasons about its significance?
Certainly, in fact, I already spoke on how is it different, but what I would like to talk about its significance in the sense, how is it important for children, for teachers to actually get engaged in school-based professional development. The key aspect that differentiates it and makes it more significant is the continuity. When the professional development program is school-based, it can be continuous. So there could be consistent flow of learning that is happening, and which is two-way, which comes democratically, which emerges from the challenges of the teachers and the students, and that really makes school-based professional development more organic and more natural and more ingrained into the lived experiences of the teacher. It is said, research says that ensuring teacher quality should have two components that continuously interact with each other. One, what teachers do. And when I say what teachers do, it means what are their practices, teaching practices. And second and most important part is what teachers think, which means what is their knowledge and their belief. Teacher quality is a factor of not just what teachers do, but also what teachers think. In our teacher professional development programs, we usually address to the first aspect, what teachers do. And our entire focus is on helping teachers transform their practices. But unfortunately, because we are dealing with a huge magnitude of teachers, we are not able to spend time on critical dialogue or reflective dialogue, which would help us understand what teachers think. And this is something which can happen at every school level, where we have a small group of teachers, where there's a small number, and the leadership can really engage with the teachers to understand what is their knowledge, what is their belief system. Because it's my belief and my philosophy about teaching that would decide how I teach. I would just give one example. If as a teacher, I believe that teaching always flows from the learned to the learner. Perhaps my teaching style would always be autocratic. I would always believe that I am more learned and more superior to my learners or to my students. But as against this, if I feel that every individual is a constructor of knowledge and comes with his or own experiences and has something to really share to the common broad platform, perhaps as teacher I would be more democratic in my approach. And therefore, it's simple to say that what teachers think has a very important role to play in deciding the teaching learning processes in the school and in the classroom. And therefore, key to teacher development is enhancing the way teachers think. And perhaps it is school-based professional development that gives us this platform, that gives us this avenue to explore what our teachers think, believe, and how to really alter that to help them improve themselves. This is another example that I would want to give on what and how teachers think and how we can really design our school-based professional development program to engage teachers, not just about what they are doing, but also about what they are doing. There's one example that I'm giving of a school teacher recording her own classroom video. So let's say in the cycle of school-based teacher professional development, we are trying to address the classroom instructional practices of teachers. Now here in this video, in this cycle, in this entire graphic that I'm trying to show, the teacher records her video class, shares it with coach or a school leader, or it could also be a group of critical friends, 3 to 4 colleagues sharing the same subject and maybe are able to connect well with each other. They review this entire video, select clips, write prompts, the teacher responds to these prompts. The teacher and the group of critical friends or coach sit together to really conference and dialogue on what needs to be improved. Accordingly, a revised plan of improvement actions is designed, and the teacher re-records and again shares the improvement. In this manner, in this entire cycle, it is totally school-based, based on the teacher's own experiences, and really through the connection that they all as a team bring up, it helps in improving the teacher's professional development. So this is just one example of what school-based teacher professional development could be. We could have many more examples that the teachers are co-planning doing their lesson plans together, are really discussing on some difficult topics or the additional supports that some of the students require and how that could be done, are really working on developing diagnostic tools. All this could be a part of the teacher professional development, which could be school-based, which could be more situational and more context-specific, that would help teachers improve on their day-to-day living. I think that makes it more clear on how school-based professional development is more relevant compared to a generalized teacher professional program.
Absolutely. It's now a lot more clear. And ma'am, because our topic is school-based teacher professional development, role of school leaders. So let's come to that and discuss that. Do you think, it's your opinion I'm asking about, do you think our school heads or teachers, they can design their own, they can design a course for their own development for this?
We, unfortunately, being maybe I would say the magnitude of teachers that we have, our reach out becomes really very, very difficult to each and every teacher in terms of making them self-sufficient and also in terms of the accountability or quality monitoring mechanisms. And therefore, somewhere the centralized teacher professional development program becomes easier and better in terms of monitoring the quality input. And therefore, we are actually, for all these years, driving ourselves with the centralized teacher professional development programs. However, it is only the school-based development programs that can help our teachers improve. Unless we assign that space to the teachers for reflecting on their own practices, perhaps we are depriving them of improving themselves. And in fact, your question itself could be an answer. It is none other than the person who is suffering who would know how to improve or work on it, right? And therefore, it's only the teachers who would know what are the kind of problems where their children come from, what are the kind of problems these children are facing, where is it that there's a gap between teaching and learning, and therefore what could be done to really bridge this gap. What is therefore required is just some kind of scaffolding or hand-holding for the teachers and school leaders so that they feel confident and they feel more empowered when they have this autonomy, space, and therefore what is required of administrators is providing that institutional support, providing that academic space and autonomy to the teachers and encouraging them in really designing their own indigenous, more contextual professional development programs which helps them improve their own school and the learning for the children.
Okay. So, now would you like to highlight the exact role of school heads in all this entire process?
Of course, of course. In fact, school heads play a very, very important role
Okay.
In bringing out the significance of this entire school-based teacher professional development program, because it is the leadership that can only make the difference. And unless this leadership really brings out the exact needs of the teachers and the students, perhaps targeting at the professional knowledge and the practice will not be possible. So school-based professional development needs to bring in a consistent focus on student learning. And therefore, what school heads need to do is school heads need to develop a culture of trust. Because unless there's a culture of trust, teachers would not feel comfortable in sharing their problems with other teachers. So I may have a fear that I'll be judged if there are other observers in my classroom. And therefore I would not want to engage with other teachers or I would hesitate in sharing my own academic problems or challenges if I am not if I'm not sure that the person with whom I'm sharing is going to academically support me and is going to really be a coach to me rather than criticize or somewhere offend in that sense. And therefore, a culture of trust is very important. That's the key role of a school head, to develop that culture of trust where teachers feel free to share and they don't have the fear of being judged. The second and very important role that the school can have is, if we want our teachers to collaborate, perhaps if you look at the school timetable, and I'm sure you would have noticed that because we've all gone through the same process, our timetables usually only share about the teaching time, which is to say math, science, English, teaching all these subjects. There is that little gap that a teacher can have between those subjects or between those teachings, where he can focus on his or her own planning or learning. I also need some 5 to 10 minutes of space before entering the classroom where I can just sit back and think on how do I plan, how do I design, how do I move ahead, so that some of the challenges which I faced yesterday would not be repeated. So what the second instructional support, institutional support that a school head could provide is giving that, scheduling that time for collaboration, for discussion, for planning in the academic calendar of the school. So if there is that 10 to 12 minutes of time after every class, or maybe at least one period a day, where teachers would come together, sit together and discuss on how they have spent their entire day professionally and what needs to be providing that time and also that physical space where collaboration is possible, where sharing is possible. And the third key and most important role that schools would have is developing shared goals for learning. People will not come together unless they have common goals. We are here on this platform together because we have a common goal to reach out to our audiences across the country. Now, it is this common goal that brings two of us together. Unless people have this common goal, they will not come together. So as a school leader, I need to bring all the teachers together. We need to discuss about what is the common goal that we would want to have for our school. What is the target that we set? Where are we standing from that goal or the target? What is our journey? How do we need to move together? And with this common goal, with this shared path, and this shared commitment towards the goal that will bring people together. And that is the key role that a school plays in really bringing people together so that they are able to. And after which, continuous cycle of professional inquiry has to happen on a weekly or a fortnightly basis. And this is something which is the keynote that it has to give, and on which would depend the success of this school-based teacher professional development. I think that's very significant to its success.
Okay, all right. So, ma'am, you've explained it wonderfully that what exactly is the role of school heads in this entire school-based professional development, and you've also informed us about its significance. Why is school-based professional development different from the other professional developments? So there's a lot which we discussed in this particular program, and I would like to thank our guest, Dr. Kashyapi Avasthi here, for enlightening us regarding this entire topic, which was school-based teacher professional development, role of school heads. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us your time and for this entire discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you to all the viewers for watching this very interesting program. If in case you've missed it, then you can watch it again on our YouTube channel, ncertofficial. So if you have any comments, any feedback, you can also share them with us. And There are a lot of programs which we have scheduled, planned for all of you. If you want to know the details of our schedule, then please visit our websites Swayamprabha and CIET. So all this information you'll be given over there, and at 2 o'clock we'll be coming back for our session on Sanskrit, and for all the 7th class students, they can watch it on PM eVidya channel number 7. So don't miss it, and take great care of yourself. Thank you once again. Namaskar.